This is the Grow My Clinic podcast by Clinic Mastery, where we help you deliver amazing client experiences to grow your clinic.
And today we are your hosts, Jack O'Brien and Shane Davis. How are you today, Shane?
Jackie boy, I'm well, mate, and looking forward to our chat today.
Fantastic. Well, let's dive right in. So this is episode number 6 on the Grow My Clinic podcast. And today we are talking about Xero. We're talking about accounting software, numbers, all that fun stuff. Shane is our resident numbers guru here at Clinic Mastery. So Shane, why don't you give us a bit of an overview? For those, often, clinic owners are very good practitioners, very good technicians. We end up running businesses and needing this stuff called accounting software. So there's a bunch of different ones out there, and some are on servers and in the cloud. You want to give us a quick 30,000 foot view of what accounting software is and why we like Xero?
Good question, mate. Accounting software is, number one, pretty boring, especially when we're talking as health professionals. It's very much far removed from what we learn at university. I think you'd agree with that. So really, to have accounting software that means something to us as business owners and allows us to really get clarity around business, how it's performing as a business compared to other like businesses, so benchmarking, and also just to be able to help to make meaningful decisions within our business. So as you know, mate, I'm certainly not an accountant. I'm not a financial planner or like, two big caveats. But yeah, what we are able to offer is just some, I suppose, a level of understanding as a business owner, as a health business owner, as to how we can make our numbers mean something to us. And Xero is cloud-based, meaning that we've got access to Xero from anywhere. Wherever we've got our phone or the internet, we've got access to our numbers. So as compared to server-based or older accounting-based systems where we probably used to, back in the day, take essentially a shoebox full of receipts to our accountant or a bookkeeper once a month or once a quarter, and we get a P&L or a report, again, probably once a month, once a quarter if we're lucky. What we're now able to do is just have live access to our numbers at any particular time, just so we've got our finger on the pulse.
It's interesting. You're right. Accounting and numbers it's one of those things I find fascinating because it's obligatory. You've got to appease the taxman and make sure everything's lined up. But it can be such a resource. I found that having a system around my numbers and being guided by the right principles means that when your numbers are in order, you can make better decisions. You've got so much more clarity around your business. And that's probably the beauty of these cloud-based type softwares. Is that right? You can make decisions instantly and not have to wait or depend on your accountant or a location of a computer. Is that right?
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. And often if we are getting a physical report, let's just say our accountant sends it through, our bookkeeper sends it through at the end of the quarter, and we can see there on the marketing line item that we've invested or spent $5,000 for that quarter. We then have to ask the accountant, okay, what's that $5,000 entail? That's the old school. New school is we've got obviously Xero. We've got those figures there in front of us. We click that $5,000 and we're able to drop down into seeing, okay, this is exactly where we've invested that $5,000 for this quarter. This part on Google AdWords, this part on Facebook, this part on sponsoring a local club, etc. But we're able to have that live data in front of us just to make, as you said, to be able to make meaningful decisions.
And so there's a couple of different options, without going into the brands too much. There's Xero and there's QuickBooks and MyOb and all those different ones. What is it about Xero that makes it so easy for a business owner? Because there's probably people listening here, maybe, on the treadmill or on the commute to work, and they say, I'm a business owner and I'm a health professional. Why do I need to be able to use accounting software? Why does it have to be relevant for me? What would you say to that?
It's a good question, mate. And I would say that all of them, in terms of the accounting softwares, are going to have their pros and cons and suitability to certain business types. But where I would say that the reason that we chose Xero about 6 years ago now, where we transferred from MyOb Online to Xero, was just its integrations that it has with other software. We use a practice management software called Clinico. It does integrate with that. it's also got apps on your phone, which again, some of them have now got as well, but it allows you to, for lack of a better example, if we have a receipt for catering, for lack of a better example, we can take a photo of that and categorize it to the specific account, upload it so that it's done in 20, 30 seconds. Again, rather than keeping a pocket full or a wallet full of receipts that we take to the bookkeeper at the end of the week or the end of the month. So all of them, I would say, would have their pros and cons. We've been using Xero for a period of time. It integrates. And also it was, at that time, it was a market leader. It was on the front edge of technology and using cloud-based systems. So, really it's been an innovator, and that's why we were early adopters and jumped on board.
For sure. And I would say that Xero still is leading the market in terms of innovation and keeping costs down. So we're talking about portability, so making sure they've got an app or accessible from anywhere, as well as innovation.
Yes.
One of the other things that we at Clinic Mastery love about Xero is the customizability of reports, so that you can set things up in a way that is meaningful to your health business. Because let's be honest, Xero is a cookie cutter program that suits all types of industries, but we've found that we can customize things that make sense for a health clinic owner, so that they've got meaningful data. What are some of the ways that you help people customize their reports in Xero?
Good question, mate. So a lot of the time when I talk to business owners and we're helping to support their business and dig into their numbers, they haven't actually had a look at much more than the profit and loss. Even if they do have Xero, they've often just had a look at the profit and loss, which has got your income and then your less operating expenses, with a long list of operating expenses. So it's got essentially an A to Z of their operating expenses, accounting, bank fees, etc., right down to, with, as you said before, a pretty generic profit and loss. What we're able to do with the business owner is to customize it more to them and to be give us more meaning as far as a health business goes. So what we do is to break each of those operating expenses and categorize them into the functional areas of the business, so that, for lack of a better example, we will segment all of our administration expenses, our occupancy expenses, marketing expenses, support service expenses, and then down the bottom we'll have our director expenses, etc., as well as our consulting income, our product income, and our consulting expenses and our product expenses up above the line. And the reason that we do that is so that we can then benchmark against like businesses. So we've obviously got a physiotherapy business, Jack, and therefore we can look at your numbers as opposed to and comparing them to benchmarks in the physiotherapy professional industry.
That's interesting. And having those categories, I guess, now having worked with hundreds of private practice clinics, we can look at what your physio practice is compared to another physio practice that's taking their business forward, taking it seriously, and looking to create great experiences and great clinics. Is that right?
Absolutely, yeah. So, for lack of a better example, we can see straight away for, let's just say, the 16, 17 year, how much as a percentage someone has invested in admin. And it may be that they've invested 20% of their revenue in administration, so reception, team members, practice management, practice managers, etc. And what we know is that's too high. It's too high to run a sustainable business. And so therefore there's some opportunity for us to delve deeper into why those expenses are the way they are, and then to be able to moderate them or improve them to help the sustainability of that business. So again, it goes back to giving us real clarity when we're able to compare a business that we're working with the benchmarks of the industry. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It's fascinating, and I'm sure there's plenty of people listening who go, "Oh, accounting software and numbers, it's too dry. I'm not interested." But I think the bigger picture around this is, one, when you can have the right software that you can customize to help you make better decisions, you're going to be far more equipped. When you're making decisions based off data rather than just off your gut feel, your clinic is going to benefit from that. And at the end of the day, we're talking about numbers and a commercial reality, and profit is important when it comes to a business. But as clinic owners, we're really passionate about creating great experiences. And when you're able to make better decisions that help your clients better, you're able to create a business that's sustainable in a way that can help more patients, help them more often, and deliver amazing experiences. That's why accounting software is for normally it would put you to sleep. For me and for us at Clinic Mastery, that's why it gets us excited, because numbers and accounting can really make a massive difference in the experience that you're able to provide with your clients. Would you agree?
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. And even the small things, being able to put a certain amount aside for capital investment, investing back into the experiences that we provide for our clients and setting that up as part of our budget that we do going forward. Those things really excite our business owners, and again, really goes back to that client experience and creating that wow for people.
Totally. And, numbers are important and profit is important. We're here to make a good living and a healthy living and help more people. And so prioritizing your numbers means that there will be something left over at the end of the month or the quarter of the year, rather than spending it all and wondering where it went. Shane, that was fantastic. Trying to bring to life something that is otherwise fairly challenging. That was our episode number 006. If you'd like the show notes from this episode, you can head to our website, clinicmastery.com/podcast, and look for episode number 006. You can find it there. Also, we'd really appreciate your honest review and rating on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever else you listen to this podcast. They really do help us and mean a lot to us. We read each and every single one of them. So head over to the website, check out the show notes. And if you'd like to know more about Clinic Mastery and how we help clinic owners create amazing experiences, you can find out more, again, at our website, clinicmastery.com/grow-my-clinic. There's a free online course there on our website that you can sign up for, be a part of, and help to create a thriving clinic. Shane, thanks for your time this afternoon. We look forward to going deeper on some of those aspects around numbers and Xero, how you can customize your reports and what the benchmarks are for different industries in a future episode. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for listening in. We are Jack O'Brien, Shane Davis from the Grow My Clinic podcast.
This is the Grow My Clinic podcast by Clinic Mastery, where we help you deliver amazing client experiences to grow your clinic.